the two guys behind us must have been working together because this was orchestrated. Picked up Forza Motorsport and you want to hop online and play some multiplayer. Well, whether you're playing with one of these or one of these, Forza is now requiring that you complete the Qualifier series, which is a minimum of 3 races in the spec Honda Civic. This should give you an idea more or less what your experience is going to be like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Since online multiplayer like Forza has really no barrier to entry, it's very easy for it to become a circus as early as turn 1. Right out of the gate, this is my first online qualifier race. Now, of course, practice and qualifying are already done, but this is my first racing lap. And it doesn't take long for things to go sideways, as just out of turn 1, we're already dodging a bullet. And if you look in the rear view, it kept going after we had passed through. Still on lap 1, heading into the corkscrew, the place behind me goes for a dive. Not sure if his intention was to take me out or if he was just very, very late on the braking, but needless to say, it didn't work out for him. And after that, with 6 rather boring laps having gone by, going into the corkscrew in lap 7, all hell broke loose. First and second go in really hot, then second and third tangle up. And just when I think I'm clear, I'm about to pass to go for second place, he's not having it and decides to push me wide. Not really the way we should have ended that, but whatever. 4th place in my first qualifier race. We go green on race 2 and hoping to see if there's any improvement over what happened in race 1. So far everything's good, and looking back, it seems that we've avoided the calamity from race 1. So let's see how this race turns out. And sure enough, with just 1 turn to go, we finally did have our crash on lap 1. The 2 cars recovered pretty quickly and I was able to get past. And before you think that everything's fine with this turn, that same thing that happened in race 1 happens again as I catch it in my rearview mirror. And with that, another 6 boring laps later, the race comes to an end and we finish in 5th. Race 3 is where it really gets interesting. And we get the green flag on race 3, and right off the bat, something makes me feel like everybody's a little bit more skilled, except for that guy in second who couldn't handle the torque steer. What most people need to stop doing is using the Senna excuse of, if there is a gap and I don't go for it, I'm not a racing driver, because there was a gap that was disappearing, and this guy should totally have not gone for it. Now as we go screaming up the hill towards the corkscrew, I can see that he's got speed on me, and I actually give him the way to get through. Not that he's any faster than me, because I'm all over his black bumper all the way down the hill. Now everything's fine and I'm actually trying to have a clean race, but the 2 guys behind us must have been working together because this was orchestrated. They try to take me and the green Civic out in front of me. The blue car goes wide, the black car stays in, and I decide I'm going to deal with him in a few turns. And soon enough, a few turns later, realizing he's probably just a grumpy cat, I send him to go play in the trackside litter tray. There's no shortage of players who think the fastest way to first place is to try and knock people off. And I'm right back where I was before he hit me. So remember the green car from earlier? Yeah, he decides because I'm on the line he wants, he's not happy with it and literally just pushes me wide. So no matter how hard I try to turn, his car's there and I can't turn in. Now I'll give him his due. As you see in the next few turns, he puts quite a fair bit of a gap on me. I'm ignoring the guy behind me, by the way, who's clearly trying to take me off. But then green car undoes all of his hard work in 1 turn on the way up the hill and goes right back to his thing of treating his car like it's 3 cars wide. Hits me on the way into the corkscrew, I recover, still take care of it, and then decides nope, he's not happy with that and sends me flying off the track. So we'll just mark that down, another one that gets to be sent back to the litter box. Now fair is fair, I already got my tap back for when he hit me the first time, so I wasn't about to hit him again. But that didn't stop it from being a really hard situation, basically being all over the back of his bumper. So sure enough, with 1 lap to go, the cracks in his armor started to show and he was making the weirdest mistakes. Just watch what happens going down the corkscrew. No, again, I did not touch him.
Total time penalty is about 1.5 seconds.
Oh, and the mistakes start adding up until he finally loses it. And the green Civic is in plain sight for me to exact my revenge from earlier.
Fight fire with fire, I always say.
Enjoy the litter box, my friend.
Total time penalty is about.
And that didn't stop him from trying to get me one more time. There we go. While that was technically the last true qualifier race I had to do before I could move on into other series and multiplayer, I did notice that this qualifier series gives you the option to continue into another round. And since I was not tired of Laguna Seca, but I wanted to try the other circuits, I went for it. And once again, it seems like that first to second turn crash strikes again as almost three cars take themselves out in the rear view. It's at this point that I encounter the next three cars. Now that Martini livery one is about to pull off, leaving the three cars in front of me, which presented some of the best racing I had in the entire qualifier series. I'm really not sure if I should leave the entirety of what's left of the race up for you guys to enjoy, but it actually was pretty stunning. If you want to skip to our epic finish between the four of us, I'll leave the timestamp here. Alright, so you're joining us right at the climax of the action. The order is about to change 5 times before the end of the race. There's one, and it's going to change again as we're all fighting tire wear. There's another order change. Here comes another one. The black Civic gets a little bit aggressive. The yellow one just, pushes back a little bit. And here, I don't think he was trying to cut me off. I think he had nowhere to go. I anticipate it, and it's a drag race, the three of us, all the way to the end. And I bounced off the rev limiter. I didn't even notice it.
Oh, man!
So I do end up coming in second because of time penalties that I didn't occur, but the other cars did. But it would have been nice to physically come in second. Still, it was an awesome race. So that was my introduction to Forza Motorsport's online play. Thank you guys for watching.